Hello, chat. How y'all doing today? I know it's on a black screen right now, but that is fine. Hello, hello. Also, before I continue, most likely will butcher this. I'm sorry, but Eve Involved, thank you for the resub for 4 months now. I appreciate it. But hello, hello, welcome on in chat. Like the stream title suggests and says, I have no plan today. So we're kind of just gonna be yippee, yeah, we're just gonna be hanging out. Plan Minecrafting, whatever. No real plan going into it. AB. Okay. That is fair. Anyways, though, chat, game wants to cycle over. Give it a moment. Should. There it is. We are back here because I want to show y'all something fun that I learned. Also, Arrowborn, thank you for the 5 bits. So if y'all haven't seen it yet, or don't know it yet, let me just quickly whop, and let me just pin that. The haunted horror escape room map that I made is finally out and released and done. And so I'm now in a single player world right now. Just so I could get thumbnail stuff. But I forgot I didn't reach on right now. But I want to show y'all something that I learned literally when I was making the thumbnail the other night. The part where Luann hides in the bathroom, you just yeah. It was really fun. It was a great video. A lot of people liked it. A lot of people enjoyed it. So I'm glad y'all had fun with it. There is an idea that I want to take even further with that concept. We'll see how it goes, but I hypothetically may or may not what's the word? Been writing out a slideshow presentation to present it as a way of maybe turning this into an official minigame and getting some people to help code and develop it. So it can be played more than just this way. Also, Astro, thank you for the gifted sub to Sammy. I appreciate that. Yeah, so a lot of people liked it. A lot of people enjoyed playing it, and a lot of the viewers in the comments that I saw were like, want to see this happen again. And so instead of me needing to like reset everything up always and remake a new map and such, there would always just be one map unless it gets really, really well. But have it be, if it was possible, I don't know how much development it would need, but turn it into a playable minigame very similar to almost how Dr. Rat made their Harpy Express game, and have it be available for people. Also, it's a thing with like 250 stream streaks. That's almost an entire year. That is crazy. But yeah, so like have that, or however who I'm working with wants to present it. have it be in that type of way, because I think this has potential to be a fun mini game, especially with the ideas that I have in mind. I just don't know how to code. I don't know how to fully code for it, so I need to go to people and be like, "Hey, this is the idea. This is the stuff that I have. What would it cost to make, build, produce, so on and so forth," and just go from there. But speaking of all of this, it's because I'm in Essentials right now. The reason why I'm in Essentials is because of the thumbnail that I made. So the other night, I wanted to actually show this off because it's really cool. So I was working on the thumbnail the other night, and it was towards the end of 4C Subathon, and we were in that whole VC during 4C's Subathon. And I was like, here's the thumbnail, what like any suggestions? And I was taking all the suggestions that they had, and I redid the entire thumbnail that I did beforehand and to what I got now. But Akira, welcome on in, Akira Raiders. We're just talking about the little escape room video that I made and talking about the thumbnail. But it'll be a wonderful stream. Welcome on in. But Narfi, big shout out to Narfi, said that he uses straw models for his thumbnails to help with like depth, right? And what's really cool about this is it's just a scarecrow, right? It's just a normal scarecrow model. But when you shift with an empty hand and right click, you get into a full like, it has full like ability to where you can, hold on. That should, oh, no, that's player name. Hold on. That's the actual name tag. If I want to add a skin, I go to model parts and then I type the player name. So the one downside is this thing. It's like armor stance. It's like armor stance, but better. So as you can see, there's me. Exact version of myself, right? So it bases everything off NameMC. So this is why I'm in Essentials, is because I have wardrobe and I basically had to go to wardrobe, and I have Luann, Owens, Lagundo, and Jaw skins that I were using, and I had to switch between them and to add them to my skin and then apply them there to update it and then not leave the server, right? But what's cool about this is you can start, there are different poses that automatically like are preset there. So you can literally do any type of pose that you want, right? You can then mirror it, so you can flip it back and forth, so depending on how you want it angled. But you can also like arm bend angle and then actually like start to adjust like player height and player head and player movement, and it will keep that position. Well, that's cape, so I don't have a cape on. But like, for example, you can get into a very weird positioning for model stuff. But what's great is like I can start actually adjusting how big you want the model to be, how small you want the model to be. Usually around a 4 is default. You can then rotate it. So like on the floor, and then adjust it downwards. Hold on. This. There you go. All right, so you can like start messing with the it's everything's at the foot. So like if you were wanting how I made like Jaw, for example, start crawling. The Y position's a little weird, but other than that, it's not too bad. You just gotta keep spam clicking it, unfortunately. Until it actually wants to get out of the block. There you go. Yeah, Y position's always a bit weird. But like you can start getting weird positioning where it's like, oh, he's now crawling and such. And you can make non-interactable NPCs, exactly. So like, for example, I could have done this in my photo stuff. Right, so you can give him a sword as well. Like, if I want to give character sword, right, I can go there, right-click, and then I can actually start... I'm just gonna do an example, right? It's Shovel, I believe. Nope, that's not Shovel. What is Shovel's username? It's everything's based off a name MC. Ah, that's why. Yeah. YT, yeah, so slash time set day. Right, so it's not the... If I wanted to use Shelby's actual vampire skin, I would have to download it because it's based off what Shelby has on to their actual skin because you're using everything off of what is attached to name MC. But what I could do, right, is I can actually reset the posing that I was wanting. And get proper depth perception with the player model. Like, I could have done this. Like, I could have actually done it in this variation and then gave proper depth perception of it, right? But instead, I had to go into Photoshop and actually murder everything. And, like, change and adjust it. But here, I can just fully do it this way. You can make people fight. Like, if I want, I can give Shovel right now a netherite axe. And then adjust the player model to where it looks like a full fight's happening. Someone could do stop motion with this if they actually had enough time with it, yeah. But like, just with that simple thing, I think there also is a way to adjust the... Yeah, you can make them slim arm as well, so you can actually adjust the arms so it's not the black borders on the sides. Reposing the Shelby slaying is enemy. Well, yeah, no, but like, look at that. Like, you can take this, and then what you can do, right, is you can then go into like spectator mode, go into like your like 50-degree angle, have that there, and then like I'm like, oh, actually, I think I want my character to actually look like he's dying more, so I'll make the... Where is it? The rotation of his body. No, not that way. Like there. And then I can scale him inwards. Like that. And then sweep his feet out from underneath him. And then what I can do is then take this arm, aim it downwards like that, rotate it a bit more in and down, take this arm all the way back. It's a little finicky with how the arm placement is for stuff, because it's like full rotation. So that's the one part I'm trying to like get used to. Right, like that, and then leg would get kicked out there. Leg would get kicked out and back like this. The head would then go outwards. And then now you can see that as like a proper screenshot when you start doing editing and contrasting with a background. Looks like I straight up just died. Also, Not Prince, thank you for the sub for 3 months now. I appreciate that. Modern Hermitcraft. It's a really cool mod. It's just straw models. So like you can add armor and you can add more than that, right? Like if we wanted to. Nope, that's not it. Anything a player can hold, they can hold. So like, where is it? Armor. You can add items in inventory. You can add a shield. You can shield armor, right? Like they just act like armor stands. See? Like it's entirely just armor stands that you can actually model and mess with. So a little bit. But yeah, no. So like Narfi told me about this, and then that's how I was able to get the thing of like my character swinging onto jaw with for directional lighting. So the thing with directional lighting in with shaders, right, is you have to kind of do it in post-production because there is directional lighting mods, but they're super old mods that aren't updated to the latest version. But yeah, you can do like full scenes with this. Like you can have something there, and if you want to go up a bit, then you can do like, oh, so they don't, oh, okay. So if that's the case, then you'd have to do like that reset position to what it is, and then like, let's go Lagundo. Right, let's take the Lagundo skin. Like, hand, back, up. It's really weird how the Y position doesn't want to stay on the Y position. Like you can go down, but you can't, but like up is very finicky. Like it will always force it downwards. See? Gravity setting? It might actually, hold on. I have not checked. Align corner, align center. There might be a gravity setting, actually, now that you mention it. Yeah, oh yeah, no gravity. Thank you. Yeah, no grav. So that's in the style form. So now that I adjust that, yeah, there we go. Good shout out, Luna. But like you can start adjusting the, where's the rotation? Here. Up. And then in. And then have the leg sweep back a little bit. Down. Yeah, like as you can see, you can get kind of as detailed as you want. And then like so the axe is on that hand. Why is it on that hand? Okay, so if the axe is on that hand, then let me put that in the off hand instead. And then you can start, as you can see, like you can make full-blown images by adding more and more complex scenes to this. You can do an entire diorama with this. Like, if you wanted to make a mini Oakhurst, right, you could get all the player skins and then put them in armor stands and then do a full fight scene and, like, just take it. With a bow? Yeah, no, like, that's the thing, right? Like, time set day is then we can get another armor stand. Let's see, we can get another armor stand to, like, over here. And then we can put a bow. I wish we can't do the arrow. You would have to add that in post-production, unfortunately. What is Drift's name, MC? Infinite Drift, right? Yeah, okay, I got it. IN. There you go. That's the skin that I believe at the moment Drift has. And do a flying arrow. Maybe actually, if we can see that. We can fully try. Right, yeah. So a hand would go up, probably rotate it a little bit, and this hand would come over like that. And get the feet to where they're not just like stationed. Like that, and then the slim arms, show name small, crouching, no grav, sealed. This is all the cape stuff, cornered, and then like the leather armor. Nope, and then we got to move, drift. Direction. This adventure skin. Well, yeah, it's because they're basing everything off of the like Shovels in Hermis Adventure Skin. I'm dying to a clown right now. It's because it takes everything off of what the user is using for their name MC right now. Let's see. It's looking like you can't make them invisible, unfortunately. You can scale them down and you can scale them up, but there's no invisible thing. Hold on, I want to see something. If it's an armor stand, I don't think this would actually work, but you never know. Nope. Okay. Yeah. So you would have to edit the arrow into it, unless there's another mod that you can do that. But as you can see, we start getting into more and more complex. Yeah, the mirror, it just mirrors them. It's not a like you mirror the side that they're aiming, so it's flipping it back and forth. You can lock it, lock two-dimensional, hold any shift or alt key to lock. Yeah. Yeah, unfortunately. But yeah, no, like you can see you start getting into poses and in designs where like you can make this a thumbnail. Like you would go like zoom up to here like this and then take a screenshot and then just start editing out. You probably wouldn't have the armor on. You just have normal Minecraft skins. And you can start adding more and more and more to this. And so yeah, it's a really cool mod though. It's a really cool mod to where like I'm super glad like Narfi told me about, because now for every future thumbnail that I have, I am using that mod. And also, a big thank you and like big shout out to Jahorse and Forsey for like helping me also with like understanding composition better for thumbnails. And like if you have a thumbnail with multiple people in it, like it has multiple people in a video, you don't need to have every single person in the thumbnail. You can just have like one person. And so originally I had like everybody in the thumbnail, but like it cluttered everything. And so instead of that, I just decided to do Jaw tripping on the floor and me killing him, which is basically the thumbnail is foreshadowing Jaw's death in a fun way of doing doing a thumbnail. You know, it's really cool. I think it was really insightful way of doing it. Jahorse and Forsey had some great advice on like vibrance and saturation and lighting up players' faces and thumbnails and such. So Jaw, okay, so here's the funniest thing about this, right? So I'm gonna run in here real quick to give y'all a full understanding. So as you saw, I had to enhance the lighting in the escape room, right? Because when it is pitch black, y'all can't see absolutely nothing in here. Y'all can't see anything. I can see a little bit better because my monitor allows me to. But like y'all like perfect, I'm gonna do a perfect example of this that y'all can now understand. There is a straw model at the end of this hallway that you cannot see. Especially when it is dark. And so if you're running, I can see movement. I can see the model on my monitor, but you cannot see it. So look at this for the player's perspective of if I'm running down the hallway and if like say this is one of the runners. Like you have a flasher running down the hallway. Now you can start seeing the model in the distance. But it takes a very long time to see this model, right? And so I asked before every recording, I was like, hey, try using the flashlight as much as you can, one for view perspective, but also just for my sake. The thing with this, I don't have free cam on. Actually, can I give the model a flashlight? I can, but it's not on. Maybe if I turn it on and then... Okay, yeah. So... This is actually quite useful. Remember how you couldn't see down that hallway a few seconds ago? When we were like standing right here, but now you can? This is what I saw always, the people with flashlights. Oh. Hold on. Mouse just randomly died. There we go. This is what I could see. And so what was happening is that I'm just, as the NPC, just running and sometimes just walking just back and forth down this hallway and constantly announcing my presence by saying, where are you? Where have you gone? I just want to play. Let me help you, so on and so forth, right? I would run down a hallway, and if I saw light that was coming from a dark area, I know, hey, there was a player there, or if I heard noise. Unfortunately, the player that I kept running into was Jaw Unleashed. Because Jaw would rarely hide or didn't hear me running down a hallway. Makes everything brighter, makes the dark parts look darker, it makes visibility from far away worse. Yep. And so I would just run into Jaw. Like, there are moments where Legs would like maybe hear me and instantly just go hide behind a curtain and just hide and wait. And even as, like, for example, this, players can stick out if they do this. And so there were times where I did see players hiding like this, to where their body was sticking out and everything. But I actively chose to just run past because they did what they were supposed to do, and they hid before I actually knew they hid, and they stayed quiet. Now there were some points where I just had no idea that they were there. And so because of that, I did actually run by. Like, when Luann hid around this corner, like this, and just stayed right here, I fully ran past Luann because I had no idea Luann was there. I didn't realize Luann hid behind there, and that was the whole point. All these little hiding spots, like behind here, behind the bookshelves in some areas, underneath the tables, like right between this, right? If you stood still while I was running fast enough through here, it's very, especially if I have a wooden axe that is always in my screen peripheral. Like, imagine a player is here, right? We're gonna do a fun little thing. We're gonna take this. We're gonna go here. We're gonna do Luann. We're then going to slim arm crouching, right? Just for context, right? Flashlight, you know, they are right there, right? But even with this being a bit more lit and the axe in my hand, if I'm just running down here and they aren't moving, I'm going to run past them. Especially if I don't pay attention and they aren't making any noise. It is pretty difficult to show it. Of hitbox being seen for a bot to not aggro for someone when hidden. I have ideas, nerdy. It might not act. It might be players or just players acting. Oh, I just made infinite light source, didn't I? I did. Oh well. Oh, there's just an infinite light source here now. Hey, there you go. Directional lighting without needing directional lighting. We've created lighting without actually needing the lighting. Like, we've just made spotlights. But yeah, so when I was running around and doing all that, Every single time I found a player, it was entirely because either I ran into them or I heard noise. Modern problems called modern solutions. Yep. And so, for most of it, I basically, when someone hid or ran past me and I did not see them, I most likely did not see them because it is absolutely dark out here and you can't see anything with the insanity shaders that I have on. And so, unfortunately for Jaw, when you with you by placing the cobweb, no, probably not. I don't think he would have done that if he didn't realize. But the unfortunately for Jaw is I kept running into him because Jaw was just running around the outer edges and going into rooms here and there, but always have his flashlight on. And so because of that, Jaw just kept getting hit over and over again. And the goal exactly was for me not to just kill any of the players. Because if I wanted to kill the players really quickly, I would just not limit myself to having mining fatigue 4, not being allowed to crit, having a timer extended out XYZ amount of time, right? Like, I would have done all that. The entirety of this was to stall them for as long as possible and chip away at their resources, because every hit does like 3 hearts. And so over a long period of time, they would slowly run out of food and they would run out of health potions, and it just becomes a much more dire situation. That's the whole goal of this. That's why Jaw died. Jaw ran out of food. And Lagundo had a health potion, he just didn't use it quick enough on Jaw to where Jaw couldn't die. And also, when I entered into this room, if Jaw, I saw the flashlight here, right? If Jaw just stayed under the bed and didn't say or move or do anything like that, and I went in here and I went like this, checked in this closet, checked it here, looked behind here, and then leave, I would have left them alone because I didn't realize Legs was actually underneath this. And I wouldn't have looked for Jaw. If Jaw turned off the light and he didn't flip open the trap door that I heard, Jaw would have survived. Because my rule was that I was not allowed to... I forgot I placed a trap door there and I didn't realize. Oh, that's so funny. And for the most part, why Owen and Luann survived and not one of them really died is because they passed resources to each other way more often and hid easier and like better. And so it is quite funny that out of every person that had to die, it was Jaw that died. Because again, I wasn't trying to actually kill anyone. I was just trying to stall for time as long as possible and just make their time go as long as I can. And if both of them somehow died, well, it would have still made for good content. But yeah, anyways, that was the escape room. I'm super happy how it turned out. I'm very pleased of all the very positive support into it. Of putting something in front of doors, recognizing it's been searched. Yeah, Owen was smart with using the pots as a way to confirm doorways and also cobwebs. Lagundo also had a smart idea. He mentioned it on stream, but he didn't mention it really in the video. What he was doing is he was turning on every faucet that when he fully cleared a room. So he would go in there, flip the faucet once he cleared it, and then go to another room. And if he ever had to run back into this room, he would always check the bathrooms first to see if water was already flipped, because that means he was already in there. And so both teams and players had some really good strats on how to figure it out. But yeah, super good. Super, super fun. I'm glad use music properly. Good slide. I know you were coming to attack. Yep. It was to build suspense. There were some moments where I intentionally added the music to be a little bit louder, but just to build suspense and nothing happened. Just to get people on the edge of their seat when people were just searching. But for the most part, I tried doing sound design, and whenever the killer was around, the music got more scary. The second I stole your tree is because I just had to start cutting stuff out of the video, but I did keep into the thing that Leg stole the tree, and then Lagundo told me that he stole my tree at the very, very end. Oh no, yeah. One thing that I wanted to keep into the video, but I couldn't, was the one line that Jaw made. Because it teetered between being PG-13 and then just not being PG-13. And so I just made the decision that I'm just going to remove it, even though it was really funny. Because ultimately, it doesn't bring anything to the video. Jaw is the most non-PG PG streamer. Yeah, he is one of the most non-PG PG streamers. He's up there with Sausage. Beyond the... Yes, I'm talking about when Jaw told Legs that he broke the bed and that they were going to do that later. And then Lagundo just pauses, looks up into the sky, and goes, "Really? Really, you're going to do that now? At a time like this, you're going to make that joke now?" It's a very, very funny joke, and especially when Legs is whispering it, being like in a panic, trying not to just laugh, is such of just a really at a time like this, you're gonna do that now? Really? And so I wanted to leave that part in, but at the same time, it doesn't really add anything to the video besides just having the humor to it, so I made a decision to remove it, because also it just was not PG. There was a single F-bomb? Well, no, like, everyone's very good with knowing that, like, not to, like, cuss. And even if there was one that would slip, I would just add a little bleep noise to it, and just make that nice and easy. Like, there are workarounds to it if something slips. Also, someone mentioned earlier about me dodging the showering joke was in, because that one feels enough to where that one isn't as telling that it's a, like, profanity joke. There is enough to where you can kind of blend in. There wasn't even there wasn't even a need for it. But just Jaw makes those jokes because he just is like that. What was I gonna say? Double faucet showers are really fancy, though. They are really fancy. Plausible deniability, exactly. You can feign ignorance for that one, yeah. The one about breaking the bed and doing it later, that that one, you can't really do plausible ignorance for that one. It's arguably funnier than actually a non-PG joke. It really is. Yeah, but anyways, about saying dodging the potion. So those who mentioned about dodging the slowness potion that Lagundo threw at me, and that was intentional. So there was another little thing that we talked about that I didn't really mention but I kept it to myself, that if a player was doing the same thing over and over again, the NPC would start to adapt. And so I wanted to get back at Lagundo for... Reminds me of the Aliens AI. Yep, exactly. We had that conversation on Lagundo and Jaws live stream about it, like the alien AI adapting in the sense. But I wanted to get payback to Lagundo because I forgot Lagundo did something. Lagundo did a juke, or Lagundo did something, whatever, and he felt so proud of it, and Jaw hyped him up so much that I wanted to kind of sink him back into reality of what position he was in. I think it was the 5 cobwebs into dodging, into getting out, into the banner, and I heard Jaw's voice in the distance, like all excited and happy, like, "Oh, you did that! You did that! Oh my god, you like craziness!" And I heard that, and so in my head, I'm like, I need to bring that fear back into that realization. And so when I saw Lagundo run, stop, and then like walk backwards a little bit, I'm like, he's gonna throw a slowness potion. And in that quick reaction time of me realizing that, I just sidestepped around, I just did this and just sidestepped over it, and it caused Laguno to panic, it caused Jaw to freak out, and it was such a good moment, especially with the sound design that I did of, you're trapped in here. Just because you can dodge once doesn't mean you can run forever. And it was so good for that. Must ratify. You were not fair enough. Oh my goodness. Yeah, no, I gave him I gave as much fairness to the horror that I added to this to this game and to this mini game. And the more that I like worked on it, the more ideas I had in my head, that I'm like, I could turn this into a multiplayer mini game in a very similar sense to, but on a different style, POW Creations Rat Hunt. But do it in a much more horror, like spooky, scary thing that I feel I could combine with the idea of like the social game from the train game, like aspect of fear, but then also this type of fear with then also Rat Hunt. And I think if I can figure all that out, and I've been working on a PowerPoint presentation right now to present it to, I don't know who yet, but I don't know if I want to present it to Lagundo and see what he wants, or if I want to present it to POW and do whatever. And figure out what to do with it, because I feel like, because people would want to do this, creators and fans would enjoy playing this and scaring their friends and such. And so I think I have an idea of what I can do. I'm not going to say what, because you got to keep your projects to your chest. Because you never know when someone's going to snag the idea out from you and work on it sooner. But I feel like a proper multiplayer game of this would be very fun. Were there any moments where it wasn't creator stuck here with Abolish, but Abolish stuck here with the Chaos Duos? No. Every single moment, like, I know I could not die. I know the players could not escape properly without actually breaking the map, because trust me, I built the map, so I know you would actually have to break blocks to get out of here. And they had very limited resources. Like, they had enough bread. I think there was like 8 bread on this floor, and then like 5 or 6 on this floor, and then like 5 or 6 on this floor. And so like it was enough to split between each of them evenly, and just a few health potions of instant health and slowness and cobwebs throughout all of this place. And it was enough to keep them alive for as long as possible if, and I say if, they were wise of how they used it. If players were like quiet and doing this and they heard me run down the hallway and then hit all of a sudden and I didn't see them, they can, like, genuinely, I was playing to the NPC bit to where, like, if a player ran or heard me coming down a hallway and hid under here like this and kept this open, I wouldn't look under here because they didn't make noise. They didn't say anything or do anything. And so, like, if they did that and then they crawled out from here and let me pass and then did this and were, like, keeping to themselves and quiet, a player can walk around this entire hallway without getting caught if they are being quiet enough, because I would have allowed them to do that as the quote-unquote NPC of this. So there are a lot of... Someone did... No, Luann did it, Jaw did it a few times, Laguno did it a few times, Owen did it a few times going behind the curtains like this when I was running down the hallway. Like... That's why these curtains and these tables and, like, there's these openings here for players to hide behind. So if they're in a situation, they can turn off their flashlight and then quickly get behind a corner or around a corner and then just, like, hide, right? Then they can do this if they want to. So that is the fun part of it, and I think it's a really good idea. Like I said, I'm typing out a PowerPoint presentation that I want to present with every idea that I have to amplify this game even bigger than what I made just in creative Minecraft, and have proper coding and such for it. There are other windows in the rooms, right? In the hallway, yeah. So basically, the reason why I added windows in the inner hallway is to basically confuse the player of if this is an interior hallway or an exterior hallway. Because if you look, the windows always face the same direction. And the reason why I did that, a lot of them didn't find it. Hold on, let me... give abolish regret. /effect give abolish regret night vision infinite. Right, so not every room, but some rooms, find it though. Nope, not here. So as you saw, there are vents in some of the rooms. Like, I think this one, like, for example, players knew these vents, but some vents, not here, this one, but some rooms had vents that will let you go from one room to the other. So you can go into a room like this. But because what happens is I start chasing after a player, right? You don't know if this room is an exterior hallway room, like this one, or if you're in an interior hallway room, like these ones. So they're all the same. Every single room is the exact same. And so I added hidden little, like, hideaway spots so players can go between rooms without going into hallways. And so players, when they want to go from one hallway to the other, they can take a vent, like this one, that would go from the middle room to an exterior hallway. But what happens is, if I start chasing after somebody, it starts confusing if they've been in that room or not, because every room looks identical. Because every room is identical. It's the exact same layout over every single room on every single floor. Every floor is just a copy and paste of the first floor. So it feels like you're constantly lost and you constantly don't know what you've checked and what you have not. And that's why it was very smart of, like, Owen and Lagundo and like Luann, and even Jaw at some points to flip the faucets, place blocks in front of the doors you've checked, know that you've checked a door by having it opened or closed, and like so on and so forth, right? That was the idea. And then when they got to the top, basically it's nothing up here. I wanted to do something up here. I wanted to do like a little extra like maze parkour they had to get through to get to like a bigger radio tower, but I just chose not to and just decided to do this instead. Just because, as you saw, they were already 52 minutes to 30 minutes in going through 3 floors anymore, and just makes the video longer and it's unnecessary. From behind and go all the way around to get in front of them. Yep. Again, that one was me being like, okay, well, if someone, for example, if I'm chasing after someone and they turn off their light and I lose track of them, I might run this way or I might turn and run this way. Because I might run into someone if I go down this hallway. And what happens is I'll start running down this way while they keep running. And then from there, I'll turn left and they run into me. Or I'll turn right and they'll see me that they ran into me through that direction. Happened to Lagundo multiple times, happened to Jaw a few times, happened to Owen and Luann, like... And I'm just running. I'm not stopping, like, listening. If I heard someone close, if I heard noises, if I heard, like, a door, both times with Luann and Lagundo, when they both ate food, and I heard it throughout the door, or, like, outwards, that I stopped, turned, looked in that direction, and just instantly ran into that room. I didn't check if they were in the corners. I just heard noise coming from that room, so I sprinted into that room for that reason. And so, but yeah. Very, very fun. Very good. And I'm happy. I need some water. Sorry, chat. Well, I had to, like, cough, but it wasn't wanting to cough. Ugh. That was weird. But no, overall, this was fun. I'm super happy how the video turned out. And I'm excited to do more of that in the future. That I actually can enjoy easily. Yeah, so, like, here's the thing, right? Minecraft, you can make scary, but also, at the end of the day, it is Minecraft, so it is hard to make it scary by itself. It's when you start adding players into the mix and adding proper horror elements and music, it starts to become something that is tense. Coming to a stressful thing. That's good. We're gonna hop on an island now, though, and just vibe. I found all the artifacts. So, I believe I found all the artifacts, I should say. I don't know if there is a board that lets you know if you have or not. Like, I don't know if there's something that's like, you collected X amount out of X amount, because it just says there's 91 hidden. And I just followed the tutorial. Yeah, I don't know why. But I think I found all of them, at least. Very cool. Gotta keep tracking chat. Yeah, I saw when it was like 10 out of 10 for certain things. I just didn't fully pay attention. You collected? No, it's like the pumpkins in Jack-o'-lanterns from the Halloween event. All he says when you pick up one. But anyway, chat. Actually, we can actually talk about something that's pretty important that's been happening recently. We can go find a spot as well to like just set up and not worry too much. Yo, hey Parker. Hold on, let me just double check real quick. Hold on. Yeah, I'm just set up. Give me a second. I overjumped it. Hold up. I keep overjumping when I don't need to. And that was an underjump. I hate this parkour because it is so annoying on a 4x. It's a 4-block jump that's timed. And I'm also not doing it right. It's hard enough when it isn't timed. I can semi-decently get the first one. It's the second one. It's that one that I always struggle on. Because I'm not turning into it enough. Or I'm jumping too early because I'm not doing it right. There we go. Okay, anyways. I want to just get over here just so we're not like getting left clicked a bunch of different times. So this is sort of a more important, we're kind of shifting from YouTube video topic into a more important topic that just needs to be said. Serious talk, yeah. Let me see if I can just find some decent. Let me see if I can find some music real quick so I can just use it in the background. Yeah, this, no, let's not do this one. Let's do. Yeah, this works. What do we want? No, we're gonna do this one. Yeah, for the most part, if most of you know what this is, you're probably right. So, as you've seen, there has been a lot of talk on women and non-men creators in the space, right? And so, first off, I'm going to say this now. Everything that I have said, or that I'm going to say on this topic, has already been said by women and non-men in the space. And so I am basically just saying what they have said, just in my own words. Because for some reason, people don't have the common sense that women and non-men, and just non-men creators in general, right? Not even trying to separate women and non-men creators, just non-men creators in general, don't have or aren't viewed the same into what they do and what they create and what they are as creators. And that is just wrong. We can all agree on that. There are amazing and talented and outstanding non-men creators in this space that are doing as good, or if not even better. So women. Well, yes, but also people who don't identify as women. In the space are doing as good, if not better, in what they are trying to do. Women, non-binary, and so on and so forth. Like, you can have a label to it if you want, but basically anyone that's not a cisgender man. Exactly. And I'm going to say this now. It shouldn't take a man needing to say this for people to understand that it is wrong. Turn on music. I can turn down a bit for you all. Yeah, give me a second. There you go. But of course, every creator is tired of seeing it to where every year something happens, whether it's a big creator group or a creator, and it repeats the entire cycle of having women, non-men creators, and so on and so forth have to basically state what they've had to deal with, what they've had to gone through, and how they should just have the ability to have an equal footing in this space. It happens every year, and gender should not and does not define someone's capabilities as a creator. Because I know a lot of amazing and talented non-men creators who have done amazing and incredible things. And there's also a lot of incredible SMPs that aren't just only men creators or only men projects and so on and so forth, right? Look at Bannerfall, for instance. Yes, there are a few men creators on there, but the non-men creators, all in Bannerfall, have some of the most intricate and well-told stories that are super, super interesting. And they put so much time and effort into those projects that they should have the ability to have as much praise and as much hype as what the other creators on that server do. And POW does a really good job of doing one thing in their SMPs. One of POW's main biggest things, and I think a lot of people need to realize this, is that there is not a single creator on that server that is the quote-unquote main character. You can have a favorite creator on an SMP. You can have a favorite creator on POW. You can have a favorite creator on Bannerfall, so on and so forth. But POW makes it explicitly clear in their projects that there will never be a main character to their story. Every single cast member's character is just as important as every other cast member's character. No matter who they are, no matter how big of a creator they are, no matter how small of a creator they are, their character stands on equal footing. And though some people are new to the POW space, though some people don't realize that, and they kind of think that if they have a favorite character, they are the main character, which that's fine. If you want to have a POV that you really like and you feel like that's your main character POV, perfectly fine. If that is what your preference is for that, right? But you can't objectively say this is who it is because of XYZ. No. That's not every character. Every creator has the absolute equal opportunity for that. And that should be the case outside of SMPs. And it shouldn't needed to be state every single year by one, the non-men dealing with it, but then two, the men having to come in and basically be like, hey, community and other creators, we gotta do a better job, and then listen to the men instead of the people who have been talking about it already for so long. Because again, what I'm saying right now isn't new. It's not new. I'm not reinventing the wheel here. What I am saying has been told multiple times by non-men creators. It's just for some reason, certain viewers and certain audiences take into the idea of they'll only listen to a man say it, and that's just very misogynistic in itself. Which, if you are someone that's like, I'm only gonna listen to my creator who says it when they're a guy and not anyone else, recheck yourself, relook into yourself, and basically like, maybe what I am doing is wrong here. Maybe I should listen to the people that are asking, like, hey, can we not do that, right? Now, here I'm gonna say something that not a lot of people have said yet. And this is to any non-man creator in the space, right? I know there are so many talented, creative, and inspiring non-man creators in the space that y'all can do so many amazing things that if y'all want, and how do I say this right? It's not only going to take the men to basically acknowledge what y'all can do, right? More women, more non-men, more non-cis men should be in events, should be in SMP, should be in that, so on and so forth, right? But at the same time, I think that there are so many amazing and talented creators that are not men that they don't need the man to be in their project, like to lead the projects. If we really want to remove those who are misogynistic when they say they aren't, right? I think it takes the men to realize when they see a good project that, hey, what that creator did wasn't because of their gender. It was because of how cool the project they made. And I think there are a lot of those happening right now. There are more SMPs that are non-men that are being made. I don't know about events, but I think there probably are events that are getting made right now that aren't just driven by men. There are video projects that have done absolute numbers that aren't just done by men. Girls Off, exactly, yeah. That Hobbit Retreat SMP thing. Yeah, like, exactly, that right there. But, like, for example, take to the account of White Pine. What Ivory has done there. Like, no man's SMP, yes, but I'm saying even further than that. Like, take to account White Pine and what Ivory's done with that. Right? That is an entire series that has both non-men creators and men creators in it. And it's not about, hey, we are an SMP, or we are a story, or we are an event that isn't to do with men. It is just a good, well done, amazing production and quality of a series that people look at and like, that is peak. That changed how people look at content. Right? And I think that's what we need to like look at right? If we want to get away from this whole misogynistic like tendencies that male creators can have, is the fact that if you make an SMP, right, don't have the base of the SMP just be we're an SMP that is non-cis men, right? Like, you can have those SMPs, but go a step further than that. Go a step further than just being like, oh, we're an SMP. Because what's going to happen, right, is like, take to example Lifesteal, right? Lifesteal was really cool because people were like, hey, we have an SMP idea that is about hardcore, it's about survival, it's about you lose your hearts when you die, right? And it got really popular, and it became really, really cool. And then what happened, because it got really popular, people started doing copies of Lifesteal. And after a while, people were like, it's just another Lifesteal copy, repeat XYZ, right? That's what's going to happen with SMPs or events or whatever. We're like, we're an SMP or we're an event or we're a project that's just not, that doesn't have any men driven in it or whatnot. People are going to look at that and be like, it's just another copy of XYZ. There needs to be more to it. You can have those developed into it, but it's not the center. Because once you make such a good production, once you do something that is so incredible with the talents that you can do as an individual, that's not based off your gender, then the people that actually think your project's good won't look at it in a viewpoint of, oh, that was not created by a man. They're going to look at that and be like, that was a cool project. That was an exciting event. That was something that was inspiring to do. And they will look at it, and at that point, the non-men creators did something onto a point where they are now on equal grounds with men with their own creative ability, and they didn't have to rely on men creators to speak out. They didn't have to rely on just basically needing to put verbatim and so on and so forth. Make it so good it doesn't matter who made it. Exactly. Because then, here's the other kicker with that. If you make something so good that it doesn't matter who made it, any creator that then goes, yeah, but it's made by XYZ, that's the person that you can then hold accountable towards even more. You can start seeing who's actually having those internal misogynistic tendencies. You can actually then start seeing who's actually the problem. Because it then forces the men creators who are subconscious being misogynistic, like, oh shoot, yeah, they are doing something really cool. And that's when it becomes better. Because let's be so real. Let's be so honest. Every single year, it's always the same thing. Of here are all these amazing non-men creators. And you just tag and you add like 20 of them. That doesn't really do anything. Because for most of the point, most people are not going to look at all 20 creators. And even then, someone's not going to look through an entire list of what people are adding. Now, what Ollie and Duvid have done, right, where it is name one non-man creator and explain why and tell me why they are so good, that's good. Because it allows people to be like, hey, this person's really cool. This person's really funny. This person's really good at PvP. This person's amazing at building. This person's great at redstone. And so on and so forth. Or I love this creator's content, right? It allows... That is a step forward to where creators can actually expand on their audience, because then the community can actually see who these creators are without checking out every single one, and that's much better. Another example is SBK, because yeah, on SBK, what Avid put there of like 40% is non-men and at least 50% plus is LGBT, like Q. Like 50% is in the LGBT community. Like that's a great example of like SBK. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, if we actually want to make change, like the diversity hire, like, if we actually want to make change into this community, into this sphere of the Minecraft circle that we're in, and just in Minecraft in general, right? It's more than just holding men accountable, because you can say something to someone online and try to hold them accountable. That's going to be in Mr. Business. No, there are amazing creators that are not men that make good enough content. What happens is that there's not enough representation or of it being shown because everyone looks towards the men content more because they are men. That's what I see it as. Men need to also preach on stuff. Like I said, White Pine, amazing. The SMPs right now that are only like No Man's Land, amazing. Like, those are amazing things. Those are contents that are being seen right now. And people can misinterpret stuff all the time. What I'm saying is it needs to be both. Because if we just only hold men accountable, eventually what's going to happen, and Shovel said this perfectly clear, next year there's just going to be a new set of new men creators that are going to repeat the process all over again. And it's just the same thing that just happens over and over each year. What I'm saying is I believe that... Hold on, what did Tintari thing got kicked? The problem right now is people will see names or pronouns or size and go, nope, it's not even going to give it the chance right now. Now, non-men need to really rely on the fact that the men such people with large numbers change the SBK like POW and all that, because these people have like numbers and will drag the others into the spot where men such problematic people will even bother to pay attention to, and it's a struggle year after year because the mean people's voices are so loud. Exactly. It's just FOSA because it's a long message. But yeah, no. Like, it's just, you have creators, both big and small, that will just say something misogynistic or horrendous, and it's wrong. There are also, as Louis is saying, there can be misogynistic women out there, but usually we're focusing more on just the space of it as is. There's always going to be and XYZ person into this. For example, when people say men, that doesn't mean every single man ever existence is misogynistic, right? There's always going to be a percentage of XYZ also in the conversation, right? Not all men, but a lot of men. It's like, I had this conversation with May. May brought up the good point of like, it's not all men, but every woman and every non-man had to deal with XYZ, right? And so when I'm saying, which mazes, not all men, but enough, yeah. Not all men, but every woman has had to deal with something at one point in time. Right. And so when I said earlier, and don't get this misinterpreted, I think there's a lot of incredible, talented non-men creators in the space. When I say that they just need to make something so strong and so incredible that you look at it and be like, you can't base the content only on gender. That's what I'm saying, is that we can get to that point. There's already a lot of projects being made right now that are starting to get shown more and more. But I think with the combination of creators doing that, of non-men creators making those projects, and then the men creators recognizing those projects and being accountable and showcasing it and telling about how cool it is, that can continue to make movements. Because right now, you can't keep doing the same thing of just basically being like, hey, can we get change? A little bit of change happens and it repeats every year, and it's just a little bit of change over and over again. It's a very slow process. Basically, don't let gender define your project. Do the project and be the gender you can be, and just show both. Yeah, And you can't be and should have both. Exactly. What I see a lot of is A, people are not being held accountable, and B, people are just not actually listening to non-men. They will criticize us no matter how perfect the thing we make, because that's what misogyny used to do. They're using awesome. Exactly. And that's why I'm saying men hold accountability. Men should be accountable. And then men should listen to the people that are not men, especially when they make such a good project. Because if someone makes, because like, here's the thing, right? We can look at famous non-men in the past. We can look at many, many incredible non-men in history, right? We can look at them and be like, look what they did. They did some incredible, amazing things on top of being not a man. And if those then say, well, they're still XYZ, those are who are misogynistic, and those are the ones that you can then fully see how bad of a person they are. Because if someone does something truly incredible, a person who is actually good at heart will look at the acknowledgement of that they are doing something incredible and not just based off of their gender. I was taught and raised to treat everybody how you want to be treated. That golden rule standard, right? That also goes into the fact of if someone does something incredible, if someone does something that's truly that you think is great, don't look at it just through what their gender is. Look through the actions and the things that they created. Because there are a lot of incredible, amazing creators that can do a lot of incredible, amazing things. And so, with that being said, I know, in my heart, and what I've seen, that there are a lot of you non-men creators that are talented, that are incredible, that are on par, even better, with some of the creators, both big and small. And truly, I think y'all can make some absolutely amazing things, and you shouldn't listen to what the men have to say. But it also is us guys who have to also hold accountability in ourselves. And when we have to help out and say these things, to say them and acknowledge when you guys are dealing with issues. Because again, if we want an equal footing for all creators in this space, we all need to do our parts. It can't only just be the non-men that figure it out, and it can't only just be the men that fix it. And educate themselves and reflect on the behavior they don't realize. I am the only non-cis man in my improv trope, and I gotta be so loud because they don't even realize they are speaking over me. They need to hold each other accountable and learn about their behavior. Exactly. And that's why I said, everyone's got to do their part, right? Because if women keep making projects and non-men keep making projects, and they do incredible projects, but the men don't recognize them and choose to talk over and choose to not actually take accountability, then it doesn't matter because we're still at that wall again where it's every single year we're just going to have the same repeat with just a little bit of change that makes it just a little bit of improvement, where we can make a lot more improvement if us creators come together and actually work together and tell our communities, hey, there are a lot of cool people in this space. There's not only just good and amazing men creators, there's also a lot of incredible non-men creators. In every aspect of Minecraft, in every part of Minecraft, no matter if it's PvP, speedrunning, building, redstone, SMPs, roleplay, it's not just men who are at the top. There are also a lot of amazing creators that are not men that do all those incredible things. It's just that the men's voices get heard more because of misogynistic tendencies throughout society. And at the same time, if the men can then acknowledge like Jem to go, exactly. Like, at the same time, if men can just simply acknowledge and tell their chats, like, hey, look at this cool thing that is being made. Or if a chat brings up a really cool concept, right? Or they're working with another non-man creator, to have the equal footing on there. Because that allows the non-man creators to keep doing the amazing things they're doing and be lifted up more. At the same time, it then helps the men creators because they get to see amazing projects that then can inspire. You know how many times I've looked at work, like creative work from creators, not knowing anything about their gender or like anything that defines them as an individual, whether it's their gender, their sex, anything like that. I look at the project, I'm like, wow, that was really cool. That inspired me, and I want to actually do better. I want to make cooler, better stuff, right? There is an absolute list of inspiration that I've seen from creators who've done videos, who've done projects, who've done everything. And when I realize they aren't a man, I'm like, that's really cool. I didn't look at it being like, oh yeah, this was XYZ, this was a man's work, or this was a non-man's work. I didn't look at it like that way. I said, this project's really cool. That build's really cool. Their PvP style is really cool. And then afterwards, I then learned about their gender and their sex, and I'm like, okay, cool. Did not change my mind whatsoever that I still thought that project was cool. And I think more people need to realize that as they look at the project. So here's the thing, though, right? I can name drop hundreds of non-men creators, right? Like, I can name drop multiple creators, but ultimately, if I name drop them, right, how many of them would actually be seen if I just name drop a bunch of lists? Because I can name drop a bunch, right? Like, if we want to just start, if you want to look for non-men creators, look towards POW. Like, look towards POW. Literally, one of the owners is not a man. Apo, the work, the writing that she does, the storytelling that Apo has done, absolutely incredible. And then, even further than that, every non-men cast member from every single SMP that POW has ran, from Bannerfall to the beginning of Rats, every creator that is non-man from that list is incredible. Then you also have SBK. Every non-man creator in there, also incredible. They do amazing builds. They do amazing storytelling. Look towards Hermitcraft. Look towards No Man's Land. Like, there are so many places to where a creator can say, hey, here's a list of all these people that I think are really, really cool. But at that point, are you really just naming? Are you really saying, hey, these creators are amazing? Or are you just naming off 100 non-male creators, right? Like that's the point. Because we can go through each SMP. We can go through every popular, non-popular, big and small SMP, big and small project. We should ignore gender when considering the quality of content, because then you're ignoring the junk that they have about. Oh no, I'm not saying just fully ignore someone's gender. I'm saying don't only look at their content for their gender, because they are more than just their gender. A gender is just one part of them. Because if you ignore it, then what's the point, right? You got to keep in mind we should not focus on the content of the creator, but their gender, sexuality, because of how much they make us happy. Look to the person as a whole. Don't just look at only their gender, because if you look at their gender, people are going to be. You're then ignoring the content they make. If you look at their content, you're ignoring the gender of who they are. What I'm saying is look at both. Like I said, I looked at their content and then I realized who it was, and it didn't change my mind of how amazing of their content that they've done. Hopefully that makes sense. Because at the end, they were all people, right? We're at the end, they were all human. There are a lot of female and non-men creators I've worked with in this space. I have worked with so many incredible creators, from literally, if you go all the way back to like Duckcraft. If we go from Duckcraft up until now, every female and non-men creator that I got to work with, that I got to play with, that I got to make content with, were all incredible. And when I saw what someone did, when I saw what they built, I looked at their content, I looked at what they did, and I said, that was incredible. But I also kept in mind of who they were as a person. Because ultimately, I'm going to respect the person for who they are, and I'm also going to respect the content that they do. Because it's not hard to give someone some respect. I know I went a little bit of a rant there, but I think it's kind of important that as people, as creators, both the men and non-men, we need to work together. We need to hold the men need to hold accountability for ourselves and one another, and then also the non-men creators just keep making amazing work. Just keep doing the amazing work that y'all do. And hopefully, we can get to a point where we don't have to have these conversations every year. I think it's about acknowledging who somebody is, but also being able to judge their whole work, both in and outside of their content. Exactly. Yeah. And again, hopefully there is no misinterpretation of there, because I am on the side of non-men. And everything that I say comes from positivity and care to make sure that the non-men get equal footing and are on an equal playing field as the men creators, both big and small. Because it is not hard to be respectful to those around you simply for just being who they are. It's as the simple rule, the golden rule applies. Treat everybody how you want to be treated. And that rule is so easy to follow in just being a decent human being. But yeah. Anyways, though, hopefully that helps. I know some people will probably clip things here and there, then post it out on like Twitter or something like that, but I hope viewers also question their choices. Are all your favorite white boys? Like, question that, bestie. Exactly. I like the idea of, are all your favorite white boys like this? Like, question that. It's a very funny way of putting it. But it is true though. Waiting for the music to die down before I switch back to the song so it doesn't get all jumbled up. I'm also gonna say this real quickly. If any of like this conversation like bugged you or like weirded you out, right? If any of that conversation was like, this makes me uncomfortable, well, it's an important conversation for one, so I get that. But if you didn't like the idea of non-men creators being on the equal playing field as like men creators, you got to look at yourself. Look into your own self and ask the question of why you find that like not fair or whatever, right? Like ask yourself that question, because at the end of the day, any non-men creator has every much right to be on the same space, to be on the same page, to be in the same event, so on and so forth as I do. And if you don't like that opinion, and you don't like that statement or fact, well, maybe you need to look at your own ideals. I'll be a little bit uncomfortable with, and fine, that's okay. As long as you choose to do something about it. Exactly. Like, if you realize, like, this is just weird, it's uncomfortable conversation, whatever, but you want to, like, do it, like, that's fine. Like, you can reflect on the things that you've done and realize, hey, that's not a good, like, here's the thing. Anybody can change. Anybody can change in life. And this goes outside of just the conversation that we had. I'm gonna wait for that one in DP. Anyone can change in life. Like, it takes time for people to change, but people can have realizations. People can have an understanding. People can like do things and change for the better, or some people for the worse, depending on who they are as a person. Like, that's the one greatest thing on life, right? Is change. Change is a scary thing, but change is good. Change is an incredible thing that can make someone better, as long as you put that change into a positive outlet. Where I've looked at myself and realizing the fact that the problem and chose to work on. Exactly. Like, it's just because you realize you have there's an issue or you've done something wrong, that's not the end all be. The end of it is when you stop trying to change it and do better. That's when it becomes a problem, is if you don't try to fix the issue. But if you're trying to change, if you're trying to be better as a person, as an individual. With Drana, thank you for the sub. I appreciate it. But yeah, that's the thing. Like, if you're trying to change, if you're trying to be better as a person, if you're trying to correct wrongs that you've made in the past, so on and so forth. Then it's fine to make mistakes. It's fine to mess up. It's fine to realize the problems that you might have caused, that you might have done, and be like, you know what? Yeah, I messed up, but I'm gonna fix it. Drowsing for the Prime and Rivenru, thank you for the community gifted sub. I don't know what caused y'all to give subs, but I appreciate that. Thank you. Reductively uncomfortable sometimes. Yeah, exactly. The greatest apple pie. Thank you for the community. Two community gifted. Thank you for that. and there is a saying, and I said this before on stream, but Will Smith has had the saying of seek discomfort of the greatest things in life are on the other side of fear. And realistically, right? It's okay to feel uncomfortable. It's okay to not PW. It's okay to be uncomfortable. It's okay to have this like fear of change and going through it, and mentally it's fatiguing. Physically it can be fatiguing, so on and so forth, right? But like ultimately, there's another thing that goes with it of the tide will rise again. Where whether you're going through the motions, you're going through a storm, you're going through any problem, or you're going through something that's making you uncomfortable that you're wanting to change, it will get better. Eventually it will get better. It might take a long time. It might take a stupid long time. But eventually that tide will rise again. And just, we talked about issues in the Minecraft community. We just talked about now about change. Get comfortable, and it's not going to be fun. A lot of the times, it's still going to end up being a better spot than where you started. Exactly. Chat, do you want to... Chat, do you want to do a homework assignment? Alright. I have a fun little homework assignment that I think will actively get people involved. Homework. Yes, homework, but fun homework. So it depends. Alright, cool. So here's what you're going to do, right? So you have now until next stream, because at the beginning of next stream, y'all remind me of this. You have until next stream. I want y'all in my chat to go and watch one non-man creator that you don't normally watch. Find one non-man creator that you don't normally watch. Okay? That you don't normally watch, Dally. This is the homework. That you don't normally watch. That you have not watched before, right? You don't get to just go to your comfort non-man creator. You have to go to someone that you don't normally watch. You can still go to creators like Lewin if you don't normally watch them. But one non-man creator, doesn't matter what Minecraft content they make. And I want you to watch some of their content. I want you to watch to see what they do, what their content's about, so on and so forth. And then that stream, starting the beginning of that stream, we'll do a fun little bit of naming non-man creators that you enjoyed. Because it's the difference between me and telling y'all, like, go watch these amazing creators, versus y'all go actively doing so. Right? Yeah, if you want to watch White Pine, and there's a creator in White Pine that you want to go for it. No, it can be any non-man creator. It can be an AFAB non-man creator. It can be a trans non-man creator. Just someone who's not a cis man. And go watch some of their content. And then beginning of next stream, On, I think, Wednesday. I'll be streaming on Wednesday. We'll do a little bit of like a fun little talking point while I just run around on Minecraft, and we can all and y'all can talk about who y'all decided to watch for like the next 48 hours. So you now have an excuse. Exactly. You now have an excuse to go help bring representation and bring content and awareness to creators that you guys don't normally watch. In my life right now? Yeah, that's fine. I'm off for Tunamen. I would suggest, if it's someone you don't normally like, when I say go watch something you don't normally watch, I mean go find a creator that you like heard of but never seen their content. You never watched their content. Like, go find a creator that you've never watched before, or like never seen or rarely see their content. Because I don't want everyone in here just to be like, oh, I'm just gonna go to Bannerfall. Like, I want y'all to be like, go watch a speedrunner who's like non-man. Go watch a builder. Go watch someone who's not as popular. Like, expand your horizons and like see someone. Yeah, there you go. Like what Teeny says, they have a lot of non-men speedrunners that they can suggest. I think, like, we go do this, it'll be fun, and then we come back on Wednesday. Wait, when's Wednesday? Actually, come back on Thursday, I think. Because I have Thursday or Friday. Because I just remembered, I do have a meeting I have to attend. So I don't think I'll be able to stream on Wednesday. Yeah, I will also be participating. Yes, I will be watching a non-men creator this week, and I'll get to see what their content is. And again, it doesn't just have to be Minecraft as well, chat. Like, if you want to keep it Minecraft centric, you can, but there's a lot of non-men outside of the Minecraft circle that you also can watch as well. They can be both big or small, does not matter. If you follow them but don't normally watch them, I think that's fine. Again, like, that means you follow someone but you don't normally watch their content. Like, if you start watching their content more, you might want to watch their content more often because you get to start seeing it more. It doesn't have to be someone you'd never heard of. It just has to be someone that you don't normally watch their content, but expand it out a little bit more. If you think they're a pretty popular creator, and you think someone most likely will be watching their stuff, maybe try to find someone else. Does it have to be Twitch? Let's keep it to the Twitch space for now. Just so, like, if anyone, like, when we talk about this on Thursday or Friday, because I think I actually do have something on Wednesday. I just looked at what the date was. Actually, let me double check real quick. Let me check my calendar real quickly to see what day I have this meeting. Never mind, I'm actually good because the meeting's on a Thursday, not a Friday. I'm fine. I am a-okay. So, on Wednesday. Yeah, but no, I just think that's going to be better overall. Is that if, as a community, y'all actively go look for people, and we all come back and we all get to talk about creators that we watched over the past 48 hours. I mean, y'all just and you don't have to write a big paragraph about them. Just a little thing about hey, this is creator, this is what they do. I think their stuff's pretty cool. During that time, so if they don't go live, but there's someone that you've been wanting to watch or something, and they've made YouTube videos, I think that's fair. I think that's okay. If they at least stream their content, I think that'll be fair. Even if they don't go live in the next 2 days. If there's someone that you think you want to watch that you've been able to. And the reason why I'm doing it this way, chat, and not just y'all typing it out in chat now, oh, who's a creator that you think is that you wanted want more people to watch, right? It's because that everyone has biases. I know a lot of you come from Bannerfall in the POW scene, so a lot of you are gonna be saying those creators, or you're gonna be saying a Hermitcraft and so on and so forth. So by doing it this way, you actively get to go watch people you don't normally watch or normally know about. And then from there, you also get a, what is it? You also then can see hey, this creator is actually really cool, and I want to watch more of their content later. You might, from doing this, you might find a new favorite creator that you have. And I think that's more impactful than just putting a name out there and saying why. You're the one I want people to watch. Well, besides me, because people will eventually watch me. We've already had this. A lot more viewers will watch a man in the Minecraft scene than just non-men. So that's why we're doing it. That's why we're doing this. No more. Exactly. If there's anyone who wants to throw out a few recs for people to go watch, I think now is a perfect time. Hosting girls off in April, that'll be fun. But yeah, chat. Now, outside of the conversation that we had, can I watch you? Yeah. If you want to watch YouTube videos of them as well, go for it. I'm just saying, if they stream, I think it's just a good thing. Because the reason why I'm why you should try to find someone who streams as well as makes YouTube content is because YouTube content can be very, very sporadic. They might have a few videos up and ready, and sometimes someone might be taking some time, like look at Michael Reeves, for example. If you know who Michael Reeves is, Mans has posted like one video in the last year. They're great videos, but it takes him like 7 months to make a video. And that's why I'm just saying streamers in general, if you at least can watch a streamer, then if they have YouTube content, I think it's perfectly fine. Just make sure that they can stream, so that way other audience members, when you talk about them and what they do, might be interested in what you're talking about. To count to watch VODs? Yeah, if you want to watch their VODs, that's also fine, because sometimes they might just not be live. Let's go check on fishing. Up. Up. Cool. And those aren't done yet. Okay. There we go. What do the purple bugs do? I don't think anything really. Oh, besides blue leaves, which are for crates? Yeah, it's fine. Alright, we're gonna open another spirit anomaly or event anomaly to see if we get anything. First those. And those. And then one event anomaly. We're trying to hopefully get like a 1%, like a 0.1% chance. And we get more exclusive stuff. Darn it. Oh well. We got one more chance after this because maybe we can get this for that, or honestly, I prefer this. I'd prefer if we got the collector cosmetic or an arcane anvil or an arcane key. Like, it's a 0.1%, but you never know. Oh, I can buy the forest rod. Yippee! Hello, Ghost. And then those, maybe get an arcane pull? I don't think we got anything useful. Nope, darn it. We'll just forge all the extra commons. Cool. Big strawberry, big strawberry. And then I can sell you. If MCYT has done anything, it's to motivate me to do things. There you go. Speaking of MCYT, MCC is this week, which is crazy to think about. It's this Saturday. All good, Shadowpelt. It's this week. It's MCC this week, the 21st, I believe. Thank you for stopping on by. Yeah, it snuck up on y'all, didn't it? I'm excited. Cabra, thank you for the sub. I appreciate it. Welcome on into the community. Who am I watching? I don't know yet. I'm not too sure. Seems released so early, it threw me off. Yep. And they're doing this, like, special theming one. It's, like, all magical and such, so I'm excited to see how that one turns out. And so I think the other thing is the announcement ties into the Spirit Blossom stuff. Like, the Spirit Blossom was supposed to be theming for the MCC texture island stuff, so I don't know how that's gonna work. Who's been announced? Oh, let me check. Let me check. Who has been announced? It is pretty magical. All right, so starting with Red Rabbits, you got Curryway, Grian, H-Bomb, Shovel. So that's Red Rabbits. Orange Ocelots. We got Antfrost, False Symmetry, Rendog, CPK. So that is Orange Ocelots. If all I think 8 voices at once gave me superpowers. Yellow Yaks. Speaking of Feinberg, you got Feinberg in Yellow Yaks. You got Ant Venom. You got Michael McChill. And you got Mythical J Sausage. That one's going to be a fun one. Then for Lime Llamas, you got Captain Sparkles, Gucky, Purpled, and Goomy. So that one will be Lime Llamas. And now for Green Geckos, we got Cambam, Good Times with Scar, Hannah Rose, and Pyroscythe. All right. Now we're going into Cyan Coyotes, which we got Amesy, Drift, Pangy, and Scott. That will be your Cyan Coyotes. And then for Aqua Axolotls, we got Elena, Crinios, Michaela, and Pizza Hut. So that's what we got for Aqua. And now for your Blue Bats, we got Avid, Gem, Ish, and JoJo. which is going to be very, very funny seeing Ish react to all these people and interacting with all these people. Michaela Dark Eyebrows. Yes, Michaela Dark Eyebrows is on Aqua Axolotls. Second to last, we got Purple Team with Bekumon, Fruit Berries, Gracie, and Ollie the Orion Sound. So that's going to be your purple team. And lastly, your pink team with two of the most chaotic people on the same team running it back once again. You got 5-Up, Roscumber, teamed up on the same team with Tubbo and Tommy in it for your pink parrots. I fear for Roz's chaos combined with Tommy and Tubbo. 5-Up is gonna have to big brain that entire team. It's gonna be the Tommy and Tubbo chaos. Roz is gonna help continue that chaos, and 5 is gonna have to try to hold it all together. Stay strong, soldier. Yeah. It's gonna be fun. I think it's because Tommy's slowly getting back into Minecraft content creation, and so he's slowly starting to do events in that again. Yeah, those are your teams for this month's MCC. Yeah, POV of Roz 2 minutes into the event. Yeah. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be very, very fun and silly. So I am excited. Hunting for artifacts. I found all of them. I'm just running around right now talking to chat because literally today I had no plan. So I'm just talking to chat, messing around, and just running courses. Oh. Current bid 21,000. Wow. He is, yeah, he made a video about it. And then we go here, over. Got stuck a little bit there. Ah, I missed the... It's always that last jump, unfortunately. Here, up, jump, up. There. 133. Not bad. I know it's not the fastest time. Like we go back and actually check that. It's actually crazy how fast people try to like have like maximized timing. Like 15 seconds faster than me. What run are you doing? Like what is your route pathing? like that's the crazy part. Like 133 is actually wild. $125. There has to be huge skips towards it. And then 116 with ITMG. Like, I genuinely want to know what the skips are. Because you have to hit these platforms. You have to go through the checkpoints. So I just want to know, like, what the route is. Yeah, I don't understand what. Like, what are these pathings? Like, 116, I got there at a 129. Again, 15 seconds faster. There has to be some skip they're doing. It's got to be a jump pad thing or something, because it's crazy. Like, I've gotten gold on all of them, but it's just, like, it's absurd. Like, it really is absurd. To ignore both paths and just go straight to the next platform. Oh, are you... I think I know what you mean. Hold on. Are you talking... Like, that's just rough there, but... Are you just saying do this? I overjumped it, though. Yep, yeah. That's still crazy, though. Like, I don't understand how you could get... Jumping like a fool. Yeah, you don't want to jump because... one speed boost is just faster. that was close. A little bit faster. I'm like, what is that? What is it? The fastest time, like 1:15, like 6 seconds slower. It's just like half a second, I think. Like, we're just optimizing speedrunning time now. Because, like, where am I? Yeah. Well, it technically hasn't updated yet, but, like, that's crazy. Like, it's actually insane, though, of how, like, minute. Oh, I see. You do that. Oh, I got distracted by the person with the wings. Go outside the purple area? I missed timing. So it's here. Jump. It basically is just a 4 block. Oh my goodness, yeah, it's literally just a 4 block on a... Oh, the gazebo type thing. Oh, oh, I see what people are doing. You're saying do that. Got it. 1:22. I think it's like 2 more seconds. We're not doing MCC. We're just running on courses. Nope. I'm just gonna run this just to see where I can increase time. Oh, I just didn't get the jump for that. Cool, thanks, Kim. So it's here, and then here. Further left? Are you talking about that one? Oh, I see. Yeah, okay, I see. And so it's here, over there. Is it better to do this? Or probably, yeah. Yeah, okay. 80%, it's because it's weird. So it's like a weird, This brings me back to the Ace Race practice course. Just trying to hit every, like, minor skip. Just to reduce the few seconds off your time. I messed it up. Where am I supposed to run from here? Oh, I have enough speed to carry myself all the way through that. Okay. The benefit with these, though, is you're only doing one lap at least. So, like, if you fail, you're not worrying about it too much that you're having to going to do it all over again, because doing that practice course and failing on, like, the last lap sucked so much. It was so much suffering when you just miss the one skip you need to do on, like, your third lap. Whatever it's called. Yeah. Nope. The rough script is difficult. It like shaves like a second, but a second that would be useful. You're basically just doing a 4-block jump. This guy's like one of the most obstructive trails. Oh yeah, the drop is consistent. There we go. Nope. I need to jump here. Not the other one, I need to jump the other way. And then maybe I'll be able to get it. Okay, early game. I thought you would pull in a little bit sooner than that, but no, you did not. On the moving wall, yeah. You're good. It's all good. I thought I had it that time. Okay. I'm jumping on the last second game. Why are you doing this to me? See, now I'm getting like PTSD again from the MCC practice course. And just always messing up on the same jump over and over again. And just going through that whole emotions. Hate it here. Like, I'm not even trying to just get top 10. I'm just seeing if I can just do the entire run once. Okay, game. I saw that disappear and I thought I had timing right on that. That's sad. That's unfortunate. Jumping too soon. Bruh. Is fishing? That's fine. Also, a little save is that you can, in that cave, you can stay full left and then kind of go straight in a line for a bit. You get top 8. Like, if I played it enough, probably. But also, I got other stuff to do. I unfortunately cannot just play Minecraft all day. And that is the unfortunate part. Okay, it stays way too long. It stays there way longer than what it should for how fast it's disappearing. The timing for when it appears and when it disappears is not the same. So I know, I wanted to just see if I can just hit timing. Because, like, if you hit the timing, then it's fine. Then you don't really have to worry about landing the jump on the far left. It comes down to more of just hoping and praying that your run cycle is on the same pace as what that is, but also at the same time, you don't have to rely your entire skips on will this thing spawn when I don't want it to. Nope, I knew I jumped too soon. Man, I should just install a macro whenever I do jumps, and that way I never miss the 4 block. It'd make life so much easier. No, you don't have to. There. How do I okay, game. How do I fall between the two? Like, I'm so close to just getting one good run. It's just like everything just has to minimally add to it. Aim for the second platform. Yeah. At least I got it relatively soon. Brother. Oh my goodness. Sounds like having fun. This is just how speedrunning goes. At least it's not bedrock parkour. Yeah, that's true. Shiba somehow more painful. Okay, I so made that jump. I'm just saying that now. I'm like one tick too soon. That's all it is. It's just one tick too soon. It's basically you're just doing a 4-block jump on speed. What decides me? No, I 100%. I think it is, but like, because I'm doing the exact same jump in the same spot over and over again, so I know it's not impossible. Yeah, I'm just gonna land on the middle platform, because why not? No, far left. Far left. Didn't matter, but you know what? I still landed it. I think I'm milliseconds faster, which is absurd to say after doing that skip. So my NCAA rank. I also know they make time go by so fast. Yeah, was a good run, but also crazy that like I am 4 seconds slower than the top 10th person. I am top 200, being 4 seconds slower. Like, that's crazy. Like, my run of 128, I'm at in the top 600s. 19 spots between 18, we at 118 and 119. It's crazy. Like, it's absurd. How'd they do that? It's just the thing with speedrunning, especially with ace race times, is you are doing everything on the millisecond, and you're doing skips that are just so small and precise that like this, me waiting here stops time, right? You clipping the wall, you having to like run around the wall this way instead of going in a straight line is consistently slower. Like, you want to do everything in the least amount of moves possible. It's like that, for example. Then I have to run around this, and then I have to jump up to this jump pad, and then I jump to here, and then I jump to here. It's like everything is just so minute in its timing. It's ridiculous. See, like that person was able to make it there. I didn't. So now it's like they have a much more time, but then they missed the jump pad. So it's like now their time is reduced. Like, there are so many little factors that play into everything. Just want to see. Can I? No, you can't make that. Oh well. It's crazy that there's parts where a full tick is there's no blocks you can jump on because you entered at the wrong time. Yep. But I'm not trying to go for fastest times. I'm just trying to just run through the game. Trying to just do fast times, not the fastest time. It's because, as Technoblade once said, being number one isn't just a title. It's basically a cage that you are stuck in trying to hold for as long as possible. You cooked with that? You did. You really did. And like that, just clipping that's just so unfortunate timing. Like 127, not a bad time, but like, but then you're like, oh, that's a pretty good time, right? And then you go down here and you go back over to that course and you realize, oh, the fastest time is 12 seconds faster. We'll push you forward on its own. Yeah, they will. Like, it's crazy. Like, and I'm not trying to do any super crazy skips. That was just me running the course roughly as it was, not trying to do any, like, 4-block jump skips or 1-tick timing. Are inconsistent. That's a server thing with the client side, and that's just how servers are going to work. Or something you have to go a fully stop moving. Yeah. But, like, that's just Ace Race. Like, that's the whole thing of Ace Race. Happy 3 hour shut. Don't worry, we're gonna end here relatively soon. Yep, that's just bad timing. Also, that's just is unfortunate timing. 1:53. And then you look at that time and it's like 1:30 something. 1:33, yeah. Really has the problem. It's just an issue in Coastal Dash because somebody made the cycles desync for some reason. Yeah, I don't know. I think they took elements of Parkour Warrior and kind of just implemented it back into the course overall, right? And I think that's wise because they combined Ace Race with Parkour Warrior. For the bars disappear, and as soon you book it through, probably. All right, chat. I think we're gonna call it there for today. We're just over 3-hour mark. And we're gonna finish up here. Ugh. I'm gonna go all the way up to here. I think we had a really good productive stream. We talked about the YouTube video. We talked about and brought to light some issues in the Minecraft space, which we should all do our best to try to fix. Tell everyone about Skibs. Well, there you go. Like I said, chat, over these next 2 days, technically today and tomorrow, before Wednesday's stream, go watch a few streams and some content from a non-woman creator that you usually don't watch. Because we'll come back on Wednesday and we'll do a little bit like, what'd y'all get to see? Who'd y'all get to watch? And we can have a little fun start to stream on that for Wednesday's stream. That's where I'm currently heading to. Wonderful chat. But hope you all had fun. We're not gonna. Do we want to do Bell today? Non-women. Wow. Sorry, non-men. Non-men stream. Not non-women. Misspoke there. Non-men. Go watch women streams. Go watch non-men streams. We talked about a lot of women issues. You got it, yeah. Sorry if I misspoke there. We love women chat. We love women. We love non-men as well, and non-women. But with that being said, hold on, let me. Me when a ball sets homework, so I have to do it. Exactly, that's why. Because for some reason, when a man says to go do something, chat's more reluctant to do it than women and non-women ask for it. Do we want to do Bell? I just like abolish one of my professors. Oh yeah, this is the thing. Do we want to do Bell before we end stream? Bell time? Alright, we can do some Bell time. Chat seems pretty okay with Bell. Okay, this is the thing you have to do rather than just abstract support non-man. Exactly, and that's why I'm saying go do it. No, Bob, because this isn't the Ark world. We depart with the bell. All right, chat. Nope, not that. All right, no blocks are high. Up. That needs to be up to there. That needs to be up to there. That needs to be there. That needs to be there. Wonderful. Awesome. Let me double check music. Awesome. Perfect. Nope. Okay. All right, chat and chatters and new people that are here that don't know what this is. If you've ever watched Technoblade, this is the sellout bell, but we do it a little bit differently here. For those who don't know, we continue Technoblade's tradition by doing the sellout bell usually at the end of every stream. Now you do not have to donate or gift subs or bits or whatever or anything like that. If you choose to do so, because it makes the bell feel more like the sellout bell, that's perfectly fine, but you do not have to. More or less, the bell is here just for us to have fun and rave, spamming bell in chat, spamming one of us, and I'm going to do the whole Twitch Prime spiel as well, because you know what? For fun. So, with that being said, chat, it's time to finish off stream with the sellout bell. All right, ladies and gentlemen, and everyone in between, it is time for the sellout bell. You know what that means? If you have a Prime sub, that means, or an Amazon Prime, that means you have a Prime sub. That is basically a free Twitch Prime that you can give to any one of your favorite streamers. It could be me, it can be anyone really that you're wanting to watch on stream. You can get that, and it's a free month of sub to that streamer. It helps them out a lot, and you're basically wasting money if you don't use it. And sometimes people forget that they have it because they don't check. So make sure you check you have an Amazon Prime, because you might have a Prime sub, chat. With that being said, I want to see y'all be spamming bell. I want to see y'all be spamming one of us, because it is time for the sellout bell. Bell, 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 bell. One of us, 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 one of us. Bell, 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 bell. One of us, 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 one of us. Bell, 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 bell. Name this thing for the community gifted sub. One of us, 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 one of us. Like you see right there, chat, if you see what Nerdy's putting in chat, if you already paid for your Amazon Prime and you have a Prime sub, consider using it to someone that isn't a cis man. Might help him out a lot, you never know, chat. So if you have a Prime sub, go help support someone who isn't a cis man. Because you know what? They can also deserve it. One of us, one of us, one of us, one of us. One of us, one of us, one of us, one of us. Bell, 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 bell. All right, chat, you got like 40 more seconds. 40 more seconds, chat. Bell, 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 bell. Nicely done, chat. And there we go. Well done, well done, well done, everyone. And that's how we bring the energy back up when we end our stream. Yeah, for those that came in, this is how we end our streams. It's with Sellout Bell. So, welcome on in, everyone. Welcome on in. Again, nameless, thank you for the gifting, as well as everyone who followed. But also what Nerdy said right there, if you do have a Prime sub, and with everything that's happening right now, and with Women's Month and everything else, consider using that Prime sub on a woman or non-men. Might help them out, might make their day, you never know. But with that being said, chat, we're going to end it here today. Hope you all enjoyed. Today was very, very fun with not really having a plan of what we were going to do. So like I said, we did a little bit of talk about the escape room video, which, by the way, go check that out. It should still be the pinned message if you haven't yet. I made a horror map, and then I scared my friends while hunting them down, and I'd appreciate it if you go check that out and support me there. But then also, chat, we talked about a lot of women and non-men issues that they have to be dealing with right now, and that a lot of it, you guys should go support. You guys should go check them out. And as the men, that we need to also keep ourselves accountable and our friends accountable for when things happen. And also that there are a lot of just incredible non-men and women creators out there. And as a reminder, if you have not yet, after the stream, and if you have time, go find some non-men creators to go watch for like the next 2 days, and then come back here and we can get to talk about them for the beginning of stream on Wednesday. Go watch White Pine as well. Really good series if you have not yet. So with that being said, chat, hope y'all did enjoy today. We're gonna raid into someone. I don't know who, but we will. And we're gonna call it there. Let's see. Who should we raid into? We have raided into May recently. And May is, of course, on Bannerfall. So, May's still live? Of course, May's still alive. This girl, for some reason, streams like 10 hours a day. And just builds whenever. It's actually crazy. So we're gonna raid into May. Maze is on Discord. Join on the raid chat. You can leave right on after if you need to. But thank you all again for having me today. It's been super, super fun to hang out with all. I will see you all on Wednesday, where we talk about more, and we get to talk about some fun stuff at the beginning of the stream. And then I don't know what we'll do on Wednesday. Who knows? But I think there also is a possible Minecraft SMP that I'm going to be chilling out on later this month, I believe. So stay tuned for that. But as always, chat, you all have been awesome, amazing, and wonderful. And remember to abolish your regret, and I will see you all next time.